If you are an educator, a lecturer, or a teacher, have you come across a subject that is so difficult to deliver, and at times when you could see your students' eyes, they are just empty and they look through you and the walls behind you with disbelief of what they have gotten themselves into? Now imagine the stress that is about to hit your student, or even to you. I mean, knowing that they won't be understanding the subject well enough given the time frame that we have to educate them. And this adds to our own mental stress as an educator. Now, we would really love to be able to deliver the subject effectively and make them understand it as much as possible within our limited time with them. If we can't do that, the student might just lose interest in the subject and even with us, so there will be no potential for further collaboration between us and them in the future. Now, to avoid this, we need them to lend us a very important asset that this generation have, which is their focus and attention. Now, because videos are the most engaging medium out there available on the internet, I like to share with you a few reasons why we as educators need to consider video as our medium to communicate with our students. For educators, our main concern is to deliver the subject to our students while not be able to do a face-to-face classroom, particularly for engineering subjects that require derivation of equations based on the fundamental laws of thermodynamics, for example. Simply presenting the derived equation in the slideshow is not possible as the students would not be able to fully understand where each of the terms in the equations came from. This could lead to a more serious problems in the future if the equations is being used to develop a new theory or a new engineering concepts. For this, it is essential to derive the equation while explaining it to them. This also allows them to see the assumptions as well as the limitations of the equations. To deliver this kind of subject, a video would be a perfect solution. We can record ourselves talking and deriving the equation at the same time. You could still use a whiteboard and record it, but since the on-screen display is limited, it would be better if you could use digital paper such as iPad to record the derivation. If they can hear you and follow your derivation step by step, it is likely that they will understand it as opposed to simply giving them the final equation. This level of understanding has a huge impact to the way your students use the equation not only for their final exams but for their industrial application in the future. Another reason why you should consider creating videos for your students is so that they can perform their revision more effectively. In normal circumstances where we deliver face-to-face lecture, students would later approach us, usually when the exam is near, to help them with the revision. Most likely, the questions that they asked have been already discussed when we delivered the lectures. This is very inefficient as we have to explain it again and again, and chances are there are more students that do not fully understand the exact part of the syllabus. If this happens too close to the examination, we might not be able to address everyone's concerns and they could end up never understanding the subject. And believe me, it's very unlikely that the student will come to you after the final exam just because he or she did not understand the subject. For me, this is a missed opportunity for us to really ingrain that subject into the students. Fortunately, this could be solved with a simple videos about your subject. It's like having you giving the lectures on demand. You see, whatever part that the students did not understand, they can always go back and re-watch it for the second, third, fourth, even 10 times until they understand it. And the best part is, you don't even have to be there to entertain each of the questions. They have a platform to look for the answers themselves. For me, this is a much more efficient revision method, and this goes for both students and lecturers. When dealing with students, very often we would like to motivate them, especially if the subject is particularly hard. There are two direct benefits when you motivate your students in the classroom. First is, of course, to boost their spirit, and the second one is to engage their brain to be more receptive to your subject. When you motivate them with your experience or the experience of others, they would naturally become more receptive to what we teach them after. So for our current situation, just because we can't see our student face to face does not mean we cannot motivate them at all. Believe it or not, this works even better on videos. I find out that my videos that contains stories that can motivate them has higher engagement than other videos. You can do this within the lesson itself, or you can make a separate videos just to motivate the students. This is like a well-deserved break for them from hardcore mathematics derivation that they have been working so far. So yes, you can use videos to motivate your students. More importantly, these motivations that are based on your own life experience can be shared with more than just your students. And this brings me to my next point of why you need to create a video. It might be true that the original intention of creating videos is to deliver the syllabus to our own students. However, if you've been working on the video for a while and you feel like the video could actually help bigger audiences, perhaps you could use the similar videos to educate others as well. Platforms such as YouTube allow creators to make their videos public to be shared to the whole world. Now imagine that you teach 100 students a semester, which brings us to about 200 students a year. If you have taught for 5 years, it is possible that you have taught about 1,000 students. And if you are a seasoned professor who have taught over 30 years, it is possible that you have already taught more than 6,000 students. But have you ever imagined teaching 1,000,000 students throughout your career as an educator? This is simply impossible if you are doing it face to face, right? Therefore, it has never crossed our mind that we could actually do it. For me, teaching 1,000,000 students is only possible through videos. I'm not saying that this should be our objective, but I hope you could see the massive potential of using videos as a medium for you to contribute to the world. After all, disseminating knowledge is our true job as an educator. And using video would allow you to do just that at a scale that we never imagined before. Even after we are gone or change our profession, someone could still benefit from the videos that we published. A properly built videos could be a long-term asset for us as educators. When we have completed delivering an online course for a subject, the course will stay there forever. This means, be it next semester or 10 years from now, when you have students that are interested in the subject, you can always reuse that video. The quality is not going to deteriorate and it won't go missing because everything is digital. Nowadays, it's not like you recorded it in a VCR that would end up gathering dust or you simply can't find it later down the road. When you can keep using and reusing it, it becomes a very valuable asset for you as an educator. Not to mention that if you have a plan to upgrade it and sell it at an online store, then this becomes a money generation opportunity for you. A video could also be the key for other form of delivery as well whenever you need it. When it is necessary, you can convert it to a podcast, and if you have extra money, you can hire someone to create a book based on your videos. And suddenly you have your very own textbook to help your students. See, a video can be many things. You can turn it into a blog. You can create websites using contents from your videos and so many other things. So as an educator, look at video creation as your long-term investment. And at the same time, you can still use them to educate your students today. There you go guys, there are many other reasons, but I've listed a few reasons why you should consider using videos as a tool to deliver your subjects to the student. Remember that it could take a bit of effort up front, but once you get it going, you can almost immediately see its benefit both for you and your audience. If you find this video useful, do consider subscribing to my channel. I post videos about life as an academic, engineering tutorials, and general advices like this based on my experience. Do stay safe and push as hard as you can to spread the knowledge. Peace.